decision is out. Palou will win for validation, vindication for Alex Palou.
May in Indianapolis, right around the corner, roughly 100 days out. What's new for the 110th running of the Indy 500? Plus, a look at the multi-billion-dollar business of motorsports in Indiana and some interesting ticket sales numbers. Plus, the economic and social ripple effect of not getting enough to eat. IBJ Media and Gleaners shedding light and potential solutions. Also, pedaling to get back on your feet from the side of a hospital bed. Details in this week's Business of Health. Inside Indiana Business is next.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gerry Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and the Indiana Association of Realtors.
What a drive from Alex Palou.
Let's get the tools right and get after it. 2 to go.
2 to go for Palou.
That's music to the ears of race fans from around the globe and to Indiana businesses here at home. The largest single-day sporting event in the world with the richest purse. The 110th running of the Indianapolis 500 inching closer and closer to the green flag. Now, just under 100 days away. Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick. Need a ticket to this year's race? Well, good luck. They're going fast. And that's not the only thing driving economic impact and excitement at IMS and beyond for an industry that is a big driver for the state. This week, I sat down with IMS and IndyCar president Doug Boles, who opened up about ticket sales, the potential of again lifting the local TV blackout, and a red, white, and blue marketing effort, a 100 days out big picture.
They're coming to the white flag. Will it be a first-time winner in Palou?
So, Doug, when you hear 100 days to the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500, what does that mean to you personally? As you know, we're in the cold weather still here, but boy, 100 days right around the corner.
A lot of excitement. I mean, that's really why we do it, right? We do it to get to the Indianapolis 500 race day. It also creates a little bit of panic, because you realize that it's almost here, and 100 days to 0 days goes really, really fast.
The Indianapolis 500 motorsports, big business for Indiana, to be sure. Last year was a great year for ticket sales for the Indianapolis 500. As I understand, you're on pace to perhaps top that.
Yeah, we're actually way ahead of pace, which, you know, every morning I wake up and we look at the ticket sale reports, like, can this just continue? Where we kind of announced that sellout the last week leading into the 500 last year, I wouldn't be surprised if it's sometime the 1st of May. We are way ahead, and ticket sales continue to keep going, and that's a tribute to our fans and the product that our drivers put on.
You mentioned live broadcast in market. Do you anticipate that once again?
Well, I think our answer will be the same as it always has been. We got to get to that point, and then we'll evaluate it and decide where we go. I mean, obviously last year we got to that point and decided the right thing to do in this market was to make it live and allow everybody to see it. So I think, you know, that may have been a precedent, but we'll definitely not make that decision until we get to that point, and then we'll decide what we want to do.
You gotta feel this.
You've got a product here that you want to promote, and you've got a new marketing campaign, United We Race. What's it all about?
Well, one of the things you think about, just the beauty of being 250th anniversary of our country. I still remember the 200th, the bicentennial, right, as a kid, and how much fun that was. And so to be able to celebrate that, the 250th anniversary, red, white, and blue, it just felt like it fit really, really well. And you think about our race itself, it goes beyond the birth of the United States. It really is about how the diversity of our series, the diversity of our drivers, the diversity of our fan base, all 50 states represented here, almost 50 countries represented here. It is a massive international race, and it is that one point in time where I know everybody gets together and united, we put on 500 miles that everybody can't wait to see every year.
Because this is going to be, they're putting everything behind it, and I think it's going to be really exciting. Roger, please.
And as you look at Freedom 250, a lot of people talking about that, creating a lot of buzz in the nation's capital.
Again, I think for us, it's just a great opportunity to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our country and to do it in a way that's never really been done before, unless you count Thomas Jefferson in 1801, I believe, had the horse racing outside of the White House to celebrate the 25th anniversary of our country. So to put IndyCars, our product, on a stage like that is just a great opportunity for us to showcase. Can't wait to see the images with the Washington Monument, which has Indiana limestone in it, obviously, and the Capitol. capital and just enjoying that, taking that product in a place that it's never been before. Really excited about that opportunity.
Given what you've just said here, is 2026 an especially big year for the Indianapolis 500, but for open wheel racing?
Yeah, but I would tell you that kind of almost every year right now for us is an especially big year. Last year was a super big year. We needed to make sure that Fox relationship was going to work and that our TV numbers worked, and we had really good success there. 2026, we've got some new venues, whether it's Phoenix or Arlington or Markham or the Washington, D.C. event. Those are really important, maintaining the momentum that we had in 2025. So yeah, 2026 is a big year, but next year if we have this conversation, I'm going to tell you that 2027 is a big year for the IndyCar series as well.
And IndyCar announcing another big announcement this week, a multi-year commitment from Chevrolet and Honda to continue as official original equipment manufacturers of the IndyCar and NTT IndyCar series. There's also been another big transformation at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway over the past year. The IMS Museum opening last April to rave reviews after a more than $60 million renovation that has completely changed the fan experience there. The museum not only has a new look, it has new leadership, and pleased to be joined now in studio by IMS President Michael Good. And Mike, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
You know full well, you came to IMS Museum from PRI, Performance Racing Industry. You know full well the business impact of motorsports. It really is substantial.
100%. You know, we at PRI, they did a economic impact study last year. You're talking about a $70 billion industry just in the United States alone. It's significant.
Yeah. As you look at the museum, and those who have been to the museum know what an amazing transformation has taken place. There's $60 million plus reimagining really of that facility. 50,000 people went through in the first month alone last year. As you look at going forward, what can fans expect this year?
Well, I think it's going to be continued new ways of engagement. You know, if you look at it from the standpoint, we live in a world now where it's about short attention span, so you got to think differently on how you engage with folks. We've really made a big educational factor here, so you can bring a 5-year-old to an 85-year-old in there, and they're all going to have a significantly different and unique and really cool experience. So it's hands-on in many ways. It's really
and
cool.
Connecting to the 100 Days Out celebration this week, I know tickets are going on sale for the museum, advance tickets on sale this weekend. In terms of how you look at the museum as part of this overall business of motorsports, the impact that it has, you see this as being a real driver.
100%. The historical significance of what the museum represents to not just Indianapolis, not just the United States, but globally, I think it's significant. You know, we want to make this a global destination, a bucket list event or experience for people all around the globe. And, you know, we're going to continue to find new ways to engage and keep it fresh, and it's a really exciting time.
I know technology is a big part of that, yes. And in terms of forward-looking, there's been a lot of talk about a restoration center very close to IMS. Where do things stand on that?
We're in the final stages of maybe getting that off the ground. Very excited about that. It'd be roughly a 70,000 plus square foot restoration and event center across the street on the south side of 16th Street off of Poco. And very excited about that. That will bring all of the cars that are not in the actual museum today. We have about 50 cars in the museum today, and we have a number of others all around the city, bringing them all under the roof, one roof, and really bringing that restoration of those cars to life so that people can see firsthand what does go on when you're bringing something back to life to showcase.
A lot going on at the IMS, the new IMS Museum. Mike Good,
yes.
the new president there.
Thanks
for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Likewise. Thank you. Have a great day.
Well, a special guest with Motorsports Moxie joins us a little bit later in the show. But up next, the strategy to help Hoosiers who are hungry, the toll it's taking on Indiana communities and the economy, what Gleaners Food Bank is doing to tackle the problem. That's when we come back.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
In 2025, the number of homes for sale across Indiana hit a 6-year high, with new listings jumping nearly 10% in the last 2 years. Homes also stayed on the market about 4 days longer than 2024, 2 weeks longer than back in 2021. Buyers have more options and more time to find the right home heading into 2026. But patience is paying off for home sellers, as Indiana property values continue to climb. Indiana is still one of the most affordable states for home ownership. The mortgage payment on a typical recent home purchase equals about 34% of our median monthly household income.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
A lot of our challenges of 2025 were driven by the unprecedented increase in need among Hoosiers facing hunger. It's a decade-high rate of food insecurity in our state and really around the country.
It's Gleaners Food Bank President and CEO Fred Glass describing the domino effect of going hungry, illness, poverty, the inability to continue working. Gleaners serves 21 counties across central Indiana, serving some 2 million households last year. That's a 10% increase over 2024. Gleaners taking a leadership role in tackling an issue with big implications for businesses and communities statewide. And pleased to be joined by Gleaners CEO Fred Glass. Fred, as always, great to see you.
Yeah, Gary, thanks for having me.
Great to partner, IBJ Media and Gleaners partnering on an event this week, 9th annual event focused on that connection between hunger and health and the impact it has.
Yeah, exactly, Gary. You know, I landed kind of from Mars into this job, so I've been learning food banking on the run. And one of the things I've found out is that food insecurity is not about food. There's plenty of food. The system throws it away by the train tracks full every day. Food insecurity is about poverty. People are hungry because they're poor, and if they're having trouble eating, they're having trouble paying their rent, they're having trouble paying their utilities and so forth. So we like to think that we're in the business of alleviating poverty with food as the tool to do that.
Yeah, and that connection to the impact to the business community is substantial. You talk about absenteeism and presenteeism that is really impacting business.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Gary, because people like to think that hunger is a them problem, somebody else, somewhere else, you know, all that, but it's an us problem. For one thing, the sheer numbers say that. We just crossed the Rubicon of 1 million Hoosiers are food insecure, 7 million total Hoosiers. I didn't go to Purdue, but I can do the math on that. That's 1 out of 7, right?
Yeah.
So you know people in your communities that are hungry, all kinds of bad health outcomes. It's pretty obvious that it stinks to be hungry. But it's bad for the rest of us too, right? Because healthcare costs, presenteeism, absenteeism, the economic development costs, crime rates go up, less educational attainment. So it really is a problem that cuts across all aspects of our society.
And you and the team at Gleaners really are at the forefront of this whole issue here in Indiana, but nationally. You serve meals all over the country.
Yeah, it's a little known piece, Gary. We're the largest food bank in Indiana, very proud of that. We serve 300 food pantries in the 21 counties of central Indiana. We're sort of like a wholesaler to food pantries. We provide low cost and no cost food to pantries that in turn provide it to the neighbors. What people don't understand is we do the same thing for food banks around the country. We are in 44 states. We serve about 150 food banks because they can't acquire food on the scale that we can. So it's an access issue for that. That helps Hoosiers because we have more scale from which to choose from for our local pantries, and we make a little bit as a business to help our financial sustainability.
Yeah, really big impact. Fred Glass, is always great to see
Gary.
you. Thanks
Appreciate
for all
you.
you do here in Indiana, across the country.
It's a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, turning now to business news making headlines from around the state, and we begin in Northwest Indiana, where another city is throwing its hat in the ring as a potential site for a new Chicago Bears stadium. The city of Portage proposing a $5 billion mixed-use sports and entertainment district to include a new stadium that would be privately funded, they say, and could break ground as early as June. Hallis Harbor, an homage to Bears founder George Hallis, encompasses 300 acres on the lakefront near the Indiana Toll Road.
What we've envisioned for the site, as we've acquired more property and put it together, is to have a site that's master developed to create a community that's both commercial and residential, more dense and taking advantage of its transit connection to the train, its connection to the waterway and Lake Michigan and the highways. And quite frankly, the Bears only enhance that plan.
Lots going on in Northwest Indiana. Hammond and Gary have also expressed interest in bringing the Bears to their cities. While Meta is making it official, beginning construction on a $10 billion data center at the Leap Innovation District in Lebanon. Once complete, it's expected to employ 300 people across 15 buildings. More than 4,000 construction workers expected to be on site at the peak of construction. The first building is expected to go online by the end of next year. Well, in Fort Wayne, one of the city's major employers is growing its footprint once again. Sweetwater plans to invest nearly $37 million to expand its distribution center there. The additional warehouse space also expected to create about 300 jobs. Sweetwater reported $1.7 billion in revenue in 2024 and is the 9th largest private company in Indiana. The company plans to start construction on the expansion in April. Coming up next, peddling in the name of health in a hospital bed. Indiana innovation getting patients back up and mobile after surgery. More on this bedside bike therapy and why it's paying off in such a big way.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves.
Challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising
Small
faster
businesses
among
need help.
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Been a while. What have you been up to?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I see it's not flossing. I just added some secret weapons to my toolkit.
Huh?
They help me drill down further, digging deeper than I ever could before. Into my business and personal finances with Lake City Bank Digital.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Now let's take care of that tooth.
Add sharper tools for your money with Lake City Bank Digital.
You are all set, Brian.
I'm Devin.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader. Well, Eli Lilly and Company making a bold move, and Indiana innovation at the forefront of getting people moving, even in a hospital bed. Business of Health reporter Kylie Veleta here now with more in this week's Business of Health. Kylie.
Thanks, Gary. Indianapolis-based Eli Lilly is continuing its stretch of genetic medicine deals, announcing this week it will pay up to $2.4 billion for Orna Therapeutics. The East Coast biotech startup has technology that modifies immune cells inside the patient's own body to treat underlying disease. Lilly says the acquisition will help it develop a new class of medicines for patients with autoimmune conditions who currently have little or no treatment options. Hoosiers in 4 Indiana hospitals are taking a new mobility product for a test ride. A medical doctor and mechanical engineer put their heads together during their Notre Dame undergrad days, and now nearly 100 Hoosiers are using their creation called Bedside Bike.
Movement is good medicine when stuck in a hospital bed, especially for patients over 65.
Within 24 hours, your leg muscles can decondition or atrophy up to 2%. So if you add that up over the course of a hospitalization, like 5-7 days, you can see how patients who entered ambulatory, able to walk, leave not be able to walk.
Almost 1/3 of patients over 70 who are in bed leave the hospital more disabled than they arrived, which can lead to complications and long rehab stays. But Bedside Bike wants to break that cycle. Typically, patients have to wait for a nurse to help them out of bed and walk them, but patients can take Bedside Bike for a spin on their own.
It's actually hard to engineer a device that's number 1, small, number 2, lightweight, number 3, self-recharging, so it doesn't require any wires or outlets. It actually recharges itself as you use it. Number 4, mobile and portable, so that, a patient, if they want it, can leave the device at the bedside and exercise when they feel ready to. And it's safe to leave in the patient room because the footprint's so small.
So I'll help you stand. Yeah. 1, 2.
The device tackles another major issue in mobility. It's typically not tracked.
We really have no idea if patients are hitting their mobility goals, if they're walking as much as they should be.
Bedside Bike includes software that gamifies it for the patient and delivers data to the doctor.
The software is a way for that data to be tracked automatically and ported directly over to your providers who can get a glimpse into everything you're doing. So they get a better idea of how you're moving in the hospital, how you're recovering before you leave.
IU Health North Hospital, IU Methodist, IU Bloomington, and Deaconess in Evansville are studying the device with patients.
We know that the randomized control trial literature says it takes just 20 minutes a day or like 900 steps to prevent the complications of immobility entirely. So we know that if we reach those goals and we're tracking those, we have a chance at kind of ending this epidemic.
And Bedside Bike is the first product for the Indianapolis-based startup, now called Kinetitech. There are other products in the pipeline, and the startup plans to expand its software suite.
It's a great idea, but how does it connect to the bed?
So the simplicity is part of the brilliance of this. It is a universal clamp that can fit any hospital bed. And AI is a big piece of this too. We didn't get a chance to cover that. They can compete with other patients. It can predict how long you'll be in the hospital. It can tell you what you got to do to get out of the hospital, go home, not to rehab.
Great story. Thanks as always, Kylie.
Yep.
Well, up next for you, a familiar name in broadcasting joins us to talk about his new role with IBJ Media. Plus,
I think it's amazing, and it's great that as an American company, you haven't given up and just imported something from overseas. You're actually doing it here.
soon to be made in Indiana, four-wheel innovation catching the eye of Jay Leno. Hear what he has to say about Warsaw-based Slate truck when we come back.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
In 2025, the number of homes for sale across Indiana hit a 6-year high, with new listings jumping nearly 10% in the last 2 years. Homes also stayed on the market about 4 days longer than 2024, 2 weeks longer than back in 2021. Buyers have more options and more time to find the right home heading into 2026. But patience is paying off for home sellers as Indiana property values continue to climb. Indiana is still one of the most affordable states for home ownership. The mortgage payment on a typical recent home purchase equals about 34% of our median monthly household income.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
We are bringing the power of this to this with a new IBJ Media app. For the first time ever, you'll be able to get the Indiana Lawyer, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indianapolis Business Journal all in one place wherever you go. All across the state of Indiana, IBJ Media provides the news you need to know, and we're doing it now directly to your phone. To be a part of this, you can find it on your favorite app store. Just search IBJ Media.
Well, Indiana innovation catching the attention of Jay Leno, one of the biggest car enthusiasts in the country. Leno featuring Warsaw-based Slate Auto's prototype electric truck on his YouTube show, Jay Leno's Garage. Slate is putting an emphasis on affordability and bringing auto manufacturing back to Indiana.
I think it's amazing, and it's great that as an American company, you haven't given up and just imported something from overseas. You're actually doing it here.
What's really revolutionary is that it's very important for us to bring manufacturing back to the U.S., as you said. So being manufactured in Warsaw, Indiana, What's unique is every single truck comes off of the assembly line identically.
All right.
So what that does is it allows the ability to scale manufacturing in a much more efficient and effective way so that we can keep the cost of the vehicle down.
Slate Auto is in the midst of a nearly $400 million investment to upgrade the old R.R. Donnelly printing plant in Warsaw to build its vehicles. Well, here is someone who is a familiar face in the fast lane, to be sure. Dave Calabro, good to see you, my friend, and welcome you as the newest member to the IBJ Media team, the IBJ Media Podcast Network. Great to have you as part of the team.
I'm so excited to be a part of the team. This is a great opportunity. Good to see you again, by the way. And I want to get, the month of May is rolling in here, Gary. You and I go way back, so we do. That's my parting gift. You got paid full retail price for that.
Oh, you did?
Just for you.
Okay, expensive.
Yeah. So we got this really cool podcast. Expensive. We've got a really cool podcast coming up. It's called Playmakers. I'm going to go behind the scenes. You know, worked in television for 40 years, and everything was quick and tight. Now we're going to have a chance to interview some of these people that I've talked to through the years. Great names. Some of the stories behind the stories. I'm not sure where you got these pictures, but there's Dale Earnhardt. So, covering sports for 40 years in Indianapolis, this is going to be fun to go behind the scenes with some of these people.
And this is when the lights go out. This is behind the scenes. And again, longer form, so it's not the typical 3-4 minute hit on TV. You can really get in depth.
Yeah, it's the stories behind the stories. What really happened the day that Peyton Manning left Indianapolis with Jim Irsay at the airport? What really happened those days? I'm looking forward to doing that. You've got the Final Four coming up in Indianapolis, which we're going to be covering a lot of that. So these podcasts are going to be twice a month, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to being part of it.
You have covered the biggest events in sports in Indiana for decades. As you reflect back on that, your thoughts?
Oh, there's so many great moments to go back in time. I retired from a local TV station a year and a half ago, so I've had a chance to reflect a little bit. I think the Colts going to the Super Bowl, the fact that Indianapolis got Lucas Oil Stadium, that was able to happen, the Pacers making some amazing playoff runs to begin this thing, and of course, to watch the transformation of Indianapolis into a real sports town. It's been an honor to be a part of it, and looking forward to bringing you all these behind the scenes. It's called Playmakers. Wherever you get your podcast, check us out. We'll be up and running in about 3 weeks.
Tamika Catchings, maybe that first one?
Tamika Catchings will be chatting with us. Gary Brackett will go down a list of some people. I won't give them all away, but a lot of names you know, and the stories behind the stories, only with the IBJ Media. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Dave Calabro, as always, great to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Welcome to the team. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Indiana Business. We leave you this week with video from the University of Notre Dame, where students created a chapel out of ice on campus. Go out and make it a successful week. Awesome job, Dave.
Challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising
Small
fast.
businesses need help.
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete. You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Been a while. What have you been up to?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I see it's not flossing. I just added some secret weapons to my toolkit.
Huh?
They help me drill down further, digging deeper than I ever could before. Into my business and personal finances with Lake City Bank Digital.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Now let's take care of that tooth.
Add sharper tools for your money with Lake City Bank Digital.
You are all set, Brian.
I'm Devin.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business Indiana's business news leader.